If you can't, Yusuf, please, if you can't hear me, check your network, because I believe I'm audible enough and my network is stable. Please check your network. Yusuf, if you have question, please type it and I will answer you. Please type your question, I will answer you. Now, for someone that understood what I have done for the months of October and November, please, can you unmute yourself and tell me how to do it for the month of December? If you understood what I did for October and November, unmute yourself and tell me how you can do it for the month of December. If you can't see my screen, Kamaldeen, please try and check your network. I believe everyone here can see my screen. Please check your network. It's maybe your network that is frozen, that is freezing it up. So please, like I said, Ibrahim, you can't see my screen. It must be your network. Who else cannot see my screen? Please, if you can see my screen, give me thumbs up so that I can know that people can actually see my screen. Razak can see my screen now. Princess is seeing my screen. Good. Somebody is answering me here. Ah, wow, Siddiq. Oh, I love this. I love that. I love that. Exactly. Abayomi, you made some mistake. You made some mistake. Check it very well. Check it very well. You've made some mistake. Abayomi, you made some mistake. Check. You may want to check it very well. Yes, 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 yes. Siddiq is correct. Abayomi, you missed it up somehow, and you are omitting something. You may want to check very well. So thank you. But it is the only mistake Siddiq is making is that you put some if instead of some ifs. Instead of some if, you see. Okay. What's that? So that's the only mistake you made. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, like I said, now let's go back to our December. Siddiq has even helped us with that solution. Said equals to some ifs. Yes. Some ifs. Some range, which is our premium, comma, our criteria range 1, which is our month, then our criteria, okay, princess, okay, princess, you are making, okay, Yusuf, you said, how do I know that I'm coming? Let me answer your question. Said, my question is, how do we know the first criteria to be inputted? No, you don't need to, it's not, you can use type first. I'm just using months. Let me do this and use type. You can use type first. It's not a must that it should be month. It's not a must. You can use anyone. You can use anyone. Did I answer your question? Just say yes in the, okay, let me show you. Let me just show you here. Okay, like I said, let me change it so that you understand what I'm saying. I won't use month first. Premium, but know that if some range is premium, that one is first, right? So the criteria 1, I want to use type. And the criteria, I want to use property, comma. Now the criteria range 2, I want to use month, comma. The criteria range 2 is December. Yeah, December. Then I'll close my bracket and hit enter. So it's still the same thing. Now, this is to tell us that in December, there was no record for property. And let us go to our data set. Look at December. Look at December from number 43 till the end. There was no record for property. So that is why it's showing nothing for property here. That's why it's showing nothing for property. So if that you use month first or you use a type, it's still going to give you the same answer. So before I continue, how many of us have this data set? How many of us, if you have the data set, just say hi on the chat. I want to see the number of people that has this data set. If you have this data set that I'm working with, say hi on the chat. Put I on the chat. HI. Okay, Abayomi, yes. Only Abayomi. Only a single person. That's bad. That's not too good. Okay, let's do for that of aviation. I want someone to do it so that you can tell me the answer. Then I'll be able to do my own and we can see if we are correct. Okay, no problem. Some ifs. Some ifs. Our sum range is the premium. Sum range is the premium. Come on. Our criteria range. We can decide to use type or months. Comma. Our criteria is aviation now. We are dealing with aviation now, comma. Just know that the criteria range you choose first, make sure you are choosing the criteria too. Not that you choose criteria range for type and you now went and choose criteria 1 to be months. No. So just make sure you are correct. So our criteria range 2 will be months. And our criteria is October. We want for the month of October. I close my brackets and I hit enter. So this is it for month of the aviation for the month of so. And if you have your time, you can download the data set and practice that of commission and the rest by yourself. Any questions so far? If you have any question, please raise up your hand just within just few minutes so that I can ask questions before I move to the next one. Because I want us to be pretty quick today. I want us to be very, very, very fast today. Who is asking question? Nobody. Okay. Since we don't have anyone asking questions, so that will bring us to the end of this function. Some if you can always try more by yourself. There are a lot of functions in Excel. There are tons of functions. Don't worry, we do more when we move to when we continue after these 2 weeks. Those of us those people that are still interested and wants to continue with us, you will learn more when you opt in for the next class. So now let's move to our data cleaning. Let's move to our data cleaning. Let me unshare this and share the data cleaning table. Let me share the data cleaning table. Okay. I'm coming. Please, if you can see my screen, give me thumbs up. If you can see my screen, I have another data set here now. Good. Thank you. Now we want to move to our data today's class. I just said I should finish up with that one that we're doing last week. So we want to move to our today's class, which is managing and sorting data. So when you're talking about managing and sorting data, you don't want to work with anyhow data. So you want once you are given data, you are expected to do some things about it. And some of the things you'll be doing is what we are going to be doing today, which is our data cleaning. You want to sort your data. You want to be sure that each column are correct. Well, this may be a preamble of what we're going to be doing. Don't worry, when you face some real life data sets, you'll be able to work with it the more. So just an example of this now. Looking at this, our data set, there are some things that are not correct about this data set. There are some things that are not correct about the data set. Now, if you remember, when we did our data entry, so if you remember when we did our data entry, you will remember that we said something about numbers, numeric numbers. We spoke about text, where they are supposed to align to. But if you discover, look at this, our age column. Do you see anything wrong with this age column? If something is wrong with this age column, give me thumbs up. If something is wrong with this age column, exactly, thank you. That means you see if okay, can you unmute yourself and tell me, Siddiq, you are the first person to give me thumbs up. Unmute yourself and tell me what is wrong with this age column. Unmute yourself and tell me what is wrong. Why do you see fault in this age column? What's wrong with it?
Okay,
Okay,
why is putting these numbers? There are spaces in between some of these numbers. Like the item number one, if it's 25 to 25, then it's still being two and five. Also,
okay,
in case this is the second one. You
okay,
know, I think there shouldn't be space before
there
the
shouldn't be space. Okay,
before the two and six. So I think
okay,
number 14 also, which is the maintenance. Then use
yeah,
column of say three and
okay,
seven. Like
okay, okay,
likewise, number infinity is the same also. Like that.
okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So there are a lot of errors, there are a lot of things that is wrong with this particular column. There are so many things that we are not even sure of. There are so many things that we are not sure of when it comes to that column. We don't understand what is going on with that column. So we want to work on it. And there are some situations whereby your data can be worse than this. And let me tell you, the truth about being a data analyst is that data analysis, data cleaning takes like 80% of your work and of your time. So maybe, for example, you are being given a data set to work with. If that data set is incomplete or is having so many errors, and you are told to deliver that data set within 3 days or 4 days, okay, and for that data set you have to create visualization, tell a story, create a data storytelling with that same data set. I can tell you that if the data cleaning can take like 3 days, that is how how serious data cleaning can be. Data cleaning alone can take like 3 days, that you will just be cleaning data alone. And you, after cleaning your data, just for you to create the visualization and do the storytelling, within 3 4 hours you can do it. So you just be wondering that, okay, what is really your job as a data analyst? So data cleaning is very important. Data cleaning is very, very important. And for you to do your job very well, you may try like 2 or 3 tools to do data cleaning for you to shall be sure that the data is okay, to be sure that the data is perfect. 100% before you use it to generate insight. Because when your data is affected, when you have an issue with your data set and you use that data set to generate insight, there will be bias in your insights because you are working with an imperfect data set. So that data set you generated, that insight you generated, there will be bias with it. That is why you must take data cleaning very serious. What we are going to be just doing is just a basic, just for you to understand some things. But when you deal with a real data, live data set, then you will understand that you understand what I'm saying, that actually cleaning data is not a joke. For example, you may have data sets of over, for example, you have a data set of like 3,000, just 3,000 data sets rows, just 3,000 rows. And you discover that the missing values, those cells that are missing, when you count empty cells in that data set, they are over 1,500. One, you can't delete them. You can't delete them. That's number one. Two, you cannot forge figures to put inside. You cannot forge figures. So you see, there are level of things you will do in all this cleaning, But we are going to go through just the basics today. So for people that we move to the advanced level, then we will see more about data cleaning. But just for today, we are just going to, play around data cleaning. So we are going to clean the column, that role, that age role. We are going to clean it. And the first thing to do when you are cleaning your data set is what we call trim. Trim, trim. That's the first thing. The trim function removes all the leading, trailing, and excess middle space in a data. It leaves out a single space between words. So that's what trim is going to tell you do, is that it's going to clean your excess space. It's going to clean your excess space, but it's going to leave one space. It's going to leave the one, that's small space between your data set. Now that is where we are going to start with. Now, how do we write it? I'm not going to work on this column so that you can see the difference. Now I want to create a new column called new age. I want to create a new column called new age. I want to use this column. I want to work on it. I don't want to touch this wrong one. But if you are doing it on a real data set, you don't create another column. You are cleaning the data set, so you clean the real one. I just want you to see the difference. That's why I want to do it like that. Sorry, I'm coming now. Okay. Now, I want to work on it now. The first thing you are going to be dealing with is the trim. The trim. So the first thing to do is highlight the cell, the first cell on the column you want to clean. You highlight the first cell, put your cursor on it and highlight that first cell. Then come to your formula bar. Yes, come to your formula bar. Come to your formula bar. Come to your formula bar. Now, this is what we want to do in our formula bar. Or let me put it here. Let me show you something. Okay. Now, I have removed all the numbers from the new age. I have removed everything. So I want to create this column, but I want to create the clean one on this new age. Now let's start. Equals to. This is where we write little codes, small codes becoming very long. Small codes becoming very long. The first thing is to write trim. Yes. Trim remove all spaces from a text string except for single space between words. Now, looking at this age, you first of all know that you discover that the column, the column for this new age is not even showing that this is a number. It's showing that this is a string. Like I told us when we're doing, like I said earlier, when we're doing data entry, that when you enter letters, it's going to align to the right and numbers will align to the left. But looking at this, our age now is aligning to the left, and it's supposed to be aligning to the right to show that it is actually number. So we are still going to get to that level. So to change it to numbers. Now trim. We are going to trim. And what do we want to trim? Trim is asking us which text do we want to trim. Just come to this first cell and click it. Click this first cell. Click the first cell. Click the first cell. Close your brackets and hit enter. Close your bracket and hit enter. Close your bracket and hit enter. Use your fill handle, drag it down. Drag it down. Now you will discover some things. Look at this number 41 where we have maintenance. You will discover that it has reduced the space. It has reduced the space a little, but not completely. But it has reduced it a little. But some people that are using a little bit more advanced Excel, you will discover that your own may remove it completely. No worries, it's still the same thing. If your own removed it completely, no worries, it's still the same thing. And if yours does not remove it completely, no worries either. So you see that it removes some of it. It's no longer, look at this 22, this sales, this 22. No, you discover that it has reduced it a little. Now let's move on. That's the first thing to do. You trim. Now let's move to the next one. The next one is to clean. The next one is to clean. So we are going to go on a break now. We are not supposed to even go on a break because we started late. Because of our late come out, that came in late. So let's move on a little so that we can cover something today. Now, like I said, the second one is to clean. And what is the function of clean? The clean function takes a text string and remove all non-printable character. All non-printable character. I don't know if you have worked on some particular, maybe you are working on maybe Microsoft Word or something, and you just discover that some funny character are just coming up on your work. You don't know where they are coming from. So this clean with some funny character on your data set. And to do that, we'll come to where our formula is. You know, there is a formula that now creates this particular row. It's unlike this one that has nothing, but this one now, there is a formula that created it. So we are going to use it. Now go to your formula bar. Immediately after equal sign, write clean. Clean removes all non-printable character from text. Put your clean, and clean is asking you what is the text. Now this trim and everything here before becomes your text. Everything here before becomes your text. Everything that you have, the formula you have before, becomes your text. So you close your bracket at the end. Close your bracket at the tail end. You will discover that when the bracket has not been closed, it's showing red. The moment you close the bracket and it is ready for you to function, it will show black. So hit enter and use your fill handle to drag it down. So that action is going to take place on every single thing. So if there is any place where there are non-printable character, it is going to clean it. But unfortunately, I don't think there is any here. So let me show you, let's move to the next one. The next one is substitute. Yes, substitute. The substitute function is used when you want to replace specific text in a text string. This function is useful when we wish to subtitle the old text in a string with a new text, and it is case sensitive. It is case sensitive. Now listen to this. When you are using subtitle, that means you want to take away something and you want to replace it with something. You want to take away something and replace it with something. Now, it is case sensitive in the sense that exactly how it is written, that is how you will put it. You must not change it. Now, let's do that. Let's do that. Now, come back to where we have our formula bar. Come back to where we have our formula bar here. We want to work on this using our subtitle. Immediately after your equal, so you see that just our small code down, our small function is becoming longer gradually. Now we are going to put subtitle. Subtitle. Now subtitle is asking us for the text. Everything you have here before becomes your text. Everything you have here before becomes your text, comma. And it's asking us old text. We want it to remove all the space. We want it to remove the remaining space, all these remaining spaces. We don't want the space again. All the remaining excess space, we want to remove it. So you are going to put it in a quotation mark because Excel does not understand anything that is not numbers. So you are going to put it in a quotation mark. Quotation, space, quotation. You close your quotation mark. You see, I put space in between, comma, and it's now asking me, what is the new text? I don't want you to replace it with anything. Just put quotation mark without any space. Put quotation mark without any space because I don't want you to replace it with any other thing. Just remove that thing and leave it like that. Close your bracket, hit enter. Now use it, drag it with your fill handle to do exactly the same thing on others. And now look at it. Everywhere we have excess space, it is now normal. Everywhere we have excess space, it is now normal. Even those ones that have space in the front, there are no more space. But you can still see quotation marks. We still see some signs. We still see some signs. Those signs, we don't want it. We can also use subtitle. Since subtitle will replace something with another. So you can come immediately after the equals to again, put subtitle, put subtitle. Now, all these ones that we have here already before becomes our text, comma. He's asking me, what's the old text? The old text, put it in a quotation mark. That sign that we are seeing, close it. That sign that we are seeing. Now he's asking us, what's the new text? We don't want anything. Just put quotation mark since you don't want anything. That means remove this sign and replace it with nothing. Remove this sign, replace it with nothing. Close your quotation mark and hit enter. Oh, sorry, I went to do it on that one. I supposed to do it on the first. Sorry, I supposed to do it on the first. On the first cell. I made him. Okay, close it. All text. Close your brackets. Hit enter. What you just need to do is just drag it down. Let it repeat itself on every other thing, and voila. Does it look more beautiful now? Now it's looking, yes, it's looking like a normal age now. But imagine just what we are doing now. Look at the number of how long it is, and we are still not done. We are still on it. We are still on it. Okay, so let's move on. Now, after subtitle, we have what we call concatenate. Concatenate. The concatenate function helps to connect join data from different cells together. Concatenate will help us to join data from different cells together. So let me show you exactly what concatenate can do. Now, when you are talking about concatenate, look at, let me create another column. Now I want to work on this department. I want to work on this department now. Now look at this department. We have IT, sales, supply chain. But assuming we are having some data that you know that this thing does not are not supposed to be together. They are supposed to be separated. Now you concat them. You say equals to concat. Some of you may have concat. Some of you may have concatenate. No issue. They are still the same thing. Either you have concat or concatenate. Like my own now, I have concat. Now concatenate is asking you what text am I want this text. So concatenate can join. I want this text. It will join it together. It's asking you, that's my text one, comma. Where did I want to join again? I want you to have space. If you want to put space when you are joining, just put the space in a quotation mark, space, quotation mark, comma. What do you want you to join? This one. I want you to join performance, comma. Put space again. You can join as many things as you desire when it comes to concatenate. Close your brackets, hit enter. Look at it now. It has joined IT 7925. These things were on different cells and it has joined them together. It has joined them together. So that's the job of concatenate. It will join everything together as you desire. It all depends on what you want as you desire. See? See it now? It will join it together for you. That's concatenate. That's concatenate. Maybe, for example, you have maybe you want address. Okay, for example, you have an address, a data set that is dealing with address, and you discover that each column they write number one, another column dada, no, another column street, another column, and it's not making any sense. So you want to bring all these things together to make a meaningful address. So you can use concatenate to bring them together. You can use concatenate to bring them together. So you can have some data set like that can be very scattered like that, and you need to bring them together. So you use concatenate to bring them together. So there is also, if you can bring together, then you should be able to disassemble. If you can bring together, you should be able to disassemble. And we have what we call text to column. We have what we call text to column. Text to column. Now, the text to column function is used to split the text into multiple columns. Select the data you want to split. Okay, go to data tools, text to column, and select delimiter. Now, let me show you exactly what I have just said. Let me show you exactly what I just said. When you are talking about text to column, now that we brought this together, assuming we don't want it together, we want to separate this particular column. The first thing is to highlight the column. But the first now, because this one is having this, there is one other thing you should know about text to column. If that particular text you want to split as formula, copy the value first without formula, because if you ask it text to column to split, it's going to split the formula and will not split the text. It will not split the value, it will split the formula. So if you are having a column that you created with the formula, you may want to copy the value. Don't forget our paste special. Control C, Control Alt V. See, I knew some people would have, so those that not go through it. Okay, we want to move it, Control Alt V. Then we want to move only the values. Then we want to click OK. Now we have the values without the formula. We have the values without the formula. You see this one has formula. Look at the formula here. But this one has no formula. That's the values without the formula. So we want to break it now. We want to break it. The first thing is to highlight the column. Come to where we have data. Look at up here where my cursor is. Data. Click on data. Then we have data tools. See where we have data tools, you see text to column, text to column. Click on text to column and it's asking you delimiter or fixed width. It's asking you delimiter or fixed width, but we want to use delimiter. So we are going to use delimiter. Click on next and it's asking us which type of delimiter do we want to use. We have tab, we have semicolon, we have comma, we have space, and we have other. But we want to use tab. 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 So you click on next, then you click on finish. You click on finish. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's space I'm supposed to use, not tab. I'm supposed to use space, not tab. I'm using tab, not tab. I use space to define them, not tab. So text to column, you use your delimiter, and I want to use space, not column, space. And immediately you click that space, it's going to break it down for you so that you can see it. It's going to break it down for you so that you can see the sample. Then you can say finish. Then here we are. Here we are. Here we are. It has done text to column. It has done text to column. It has done text to column. So if you have any questions so far, please can you raise up your hand and ask now? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, Yusuf, can you ask your question now? Yusuf, unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
All right, ma. Good evening, ma. Yes, ma. My
Good
question
evening.
is when you want to clean the data, now you are using some formula to clean it, especially when we have
You
column.
said?
I said you were using some formulas to clean the data, right?
Yes.
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 So now why I don't know. I want to ask that where we have columns, instead of us entering data, can we just put our this cursor there and just remove the column and close it? Is it possible that way?
That where you have columns
Yes, that place we have column or space. Can we just put our cursor there and close this space? Will it work
and
that way?
close it. And you will do that for 1 million data sets, bro. Ross,
Okay, yes. I just understand.
answer. You want to do that for 1 million data sets.
Ah,
Eh?
okay.
And you will be doing it one by one like that. You will sleep on that data set. You will wake up. You will still be on it. So it's not, these are the, this, it's just because you can see that, is it not just 49 rows? What is this woman doing now? Just remove this thing, remove. No, it's just because, like I said, these are just simple things. Imagine you are dealing with, you don't even know where all the space, you don't even know where all the mistakes are. You can't even see it with your own eyes. You understand? Are you getting what I'm saying now? You can't even see all these mistakes sometimes. When you look at the data set and it is voluminous, you can't even see everything. Like I said, Excel can take like over 1 million and you are giving like 500,000 rows. Even 100,000 rows, you can't be doing it one by one and you won't get tired. Okay, this one now we are dealing with just one row. Imagine rows that are having this kind of error. They are like 4, 5. So and you have like 100,000 rows. So you will now be doing it one by one by one by one. No, you won't want to do it like that. And that's why we are using Excel. Excel is so easy because Excel accommodates a whole lot of functions. Like I said, this is just a tip. What is important in becoming a data analyst is know the basics. Just know the basics. And so that when you come across anything, you know what you want to do. If you now need a further, as in more advanced techniques to use, you can go to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is going to give you some ideas. But you may want to, if you don't know what you want to do with your ChatGPT, then it will just be as if It's just like that. It's just there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yusuf, do I answer your question? Okay, Siddiq, you said at
Yes,
the
ma, I
end of
can
the
get you. Thank
training,
you very
can we?
much.
Okay, can we have the training manuals while practicing? We might want to go over. Hey, like I said, the training manual is only available for people that will continue after 2 weeks. Actually, giving you the manual is not the problem. I have it. It's over like 70 pages. I can give you the manual. But the truth is, it's only available for people that will continue after 2 weeks. We want to know this one that I'm dropping data and then people are not attending to it. That it won't be like that when we are in a serious we want to know people that are following us. It won't be like that because I will have to give assignments and you have to do work, combine a lot of things together. So sorry about that. That one we know it won't be dropped actually. So any question, our time is fast spent. Actually, our time is moving very fast. So we have what we call removing duplicates. Removing duplicates. Since no one is asking questions, okay, we have what we call removing duplicates. Sometimes there are duplicate data in our record, and it's necessary to clean them up to have an accurate record. One of the ways to this is by using the remove duplicate feature in Excel. This feature completely removes any duplicate data in the columns you specify and the corresponding data in other columns of the same row that the duplicate exists. This feature will remove the duplicate and leave one unique data. To use this feature, select the range you want to remove duplicates from. Go to the data type, data tools group, and click remove duplicate. I'm going to show you exactly what I am talking about. Before we finish this class, let me just do that one. Now, when you are talking about duplicates, for example, in this particular data set now, where we have accounts, assuming we have this one like this, let me show you something like this. Okay. See. Mm. Okay, now you discover that if you have something like this, if you have something like this, and you discover that you have duplicates, and you see things like this happens in our data set, especially when we are dealing with sales data sets, you discover that on sales data set, you can have multiple entries. A single person bought maybe a freezer, maybe out of curiosity or mistake, or maybe at the time the receptionist or whoever is in charge was recording it on the system, make mistake and recorded it twice. Things like this happens. So in a case like that, you remove duplicates. For you to have meaningful data sets, you remove duplicates. You may want to remove duplicates. You may want to remove duplicates. Now the thing is, highlight the data sets that you want to remove duplicates. Now highlight all these things now. You discover that now is longer than the one we have before. It's like 55. I intentionally copy it. Now, what Excel is going to do is going to remove all the excess duplicates and leave just one unique one. It's going to leave one unique one. Maybe we have, for example, we have Juliet Dada Ojo. We have another Juliet Dada Ojo. We have another Juliet Dada Ojo. That's three. Excel is going to remove two and leave one. It's going to, sorry, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please give me thumbs up. Oh, thank you. So Excel is going to remove one and leave one. So that is exactly what we are going to do now. You are going to highlight that data set, highlight it. Where we have data here, that is where we are coming to. Where we have data here, where that's where we are coming to. Now we are going to come to this place, this data two, this data two, this data two. We are going to where we have this blue, white, and something like a red arrow. Where we have it here, that's where we have remove data, remove duplicates. Click on it, and it's asking you that to duplicate. He's telling you the duplicate is all there, and we want you to remove it. Yes. It says six duplicate value was found and removed. 47 unique values remain. Okay. Now, if you look at it now, it has removed everything. It has removed those ones I copied. The ones I copied, later copied, it has removed it. That's exactly what removing duplicate does. So if you are removing duplicates, it's going to remove the other one and leave the unique one out of it. That is what it's talking about. So, any questions so far? So, like I said, this is just a brief of cleaning data that you can know now. But when you want to advance, then you will deal with something more, something that is more clarifying than this. So, by Thursday, we will be talking about charts and graphs. We have different charts and graphs on Excel that can be created. Like I said, we can use Excel to create a dashboard. I can show you an example of something I created with Excel, and it was a dashboard. Somebody is Yusuf, you can ask your question.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're
In
welcome.
the case of removing duplicates, what if coincidentally we have the same person with, I mean, we have two different persons with the same name and they purchase the same value. Maybe for instance we have Yusuf Dada Udo purchase generator and we also have Yusuf Dada another Yusuf Dada Udo purchase generator. It looks like a duplicate, but then it's not a duplicate.
Okay, the truth is this. When you have a data set, assuming you are working with a staff data set, it's not their name. You don't have only their name as their the means of identification. You don't have only their name. That means in that data set you have their name, you have their phone number, you have their email address, you may even have their house address. What I'm telling you is that they can never be perfectly the same or true. And when you are talking about removing duplicates, Excel is going to look at everything on that particular role, compare it with that another role. It is only when he sees that everything on this particular role is the same with another thing on another particular role, that's when it will remove it. Do you understand me now?
And I get
This
you now. That means the invoice can be different or
invoice
the
can be
receipt
different.
or the ID.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because there is no how you can issue two invoice for a single item. Invoice will be different. So that's that. Okay. Any other question? Okay, any other question? Any other question? I know Ibrahim has been trying to. Ibrahim is having issue joining the class. Ibrahim, I can't. Sorry, you have to. Maybe you have to go back to the recording and then listen to it. Sorry about that. If you're having issue with network, sorry, they just increased tariff. Maybe it's the one that is affecting our network. So,
Connect.
in and tomorrow we are going to be Ibrahim, do you have any question?
I have a
It's like you
question.
are even fluctuating in the class. It's like your network is giving you issue.
Yes, it's very bad here. I
So
don't know how come.
sorry about that. So by Thursday, we are going to be dealing with charts and graphs. Yes, charts and graphs is what we are going to be dealing with on Thursday. So have a wonderful night. Have a very good night. See you all on Thursday. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night, man. Thank you so much, man.
Good night.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night. Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.